Imagine my lack of surprise when I read this morning that Uber had already been working on ways to get around AB5. Let's take a look at the latest news article about this. Now this article is from Mashable, but I do have several others that I will link so that you can take a look at what they all say. They all essentially say the same thing, but this is the one that we'll focus on. Uber launched secret project to target California drivers under new labor law by Heidi Chu, posted 2 hours ago. Don't be fooled by its name. There's nothing friendly about Uber's Project Luigi. The rideshare company publicly unveiled the project back in December under the guise of new features. But a Washington Post report Monday confirmed Uber had internally deemed the initiative as a critical project around AB5, a California employment classification law that went into effect January 1st, 2020. Under the new California law, gig-based companies are required to treat their workers as employees unless they can prove their contractors are truly independent. Put simply, Uber drivers will be afforded wage floors, benefits, and worker protections unless Uber can demonstrate that their drivers are free from its control and direction, and that their work falls outside Uber's usual course of business. Just as our own Sasha Lakach had pointed out back in December, the new features, now confirmed as the products of Project Luigi, are designed to afford Uber drivers more freedom over how they operate, thereby bolstering Uber's case that these drivers are independent workers under the new law. For example, beginning in mid-January, Uber's California drivers will be able to reject ride requests after reviewing their destination, estimated ride time, and earning estimates. Uber said these features will allow drivers to earn on their own terms and build their business on Uber's platform. Uber's chief legal counsel in September claimed that it has successfully argued California drivers as independent contractors under AB5 and that this new feature backs their case. While we are confident that drivers are already correctly classified, these product changes will further strengthen drivers' independence and preserve their ability to work when, where, and how they want, an Uber spokesperson told Mashable. The same quote given to the Washington Post. Uber, alongside food delivery company Postmates, filed a suit against the state of California on December 30th, 2019 to challenge the constitutionality of the new law. That leaves about 200,000 California-based Uber drivers in limbo. Meanwhile, some experts and activists continue to advocate for AB5 as a measure of protection for gig workers. It is yet another indication that Uber has no intention of treating its drivers fairly and respectfully. It's a backdoor attempt to circumvent AB5 and continue to exploit Uber drivers, the Amalgamated Transit Union said in a press release, referring to Project Luigi. We will persevere in the fight to ensure basic rights of rideshare drivers in the face of Uber and Lyft's shameless assault on workers' rights across the nation. Uber, on the other hand, come on editorial team, said it will continue to build products that help drivers grow their business. But what that means in relation to AB5 is, so far, up in the air. This pretty much highlights the fact that they've already been working on a way to counter AB5 well before it was set to be implemented. I'm curious what this means for future lawsuits against AB5 in California. There could be a strange coalition of different freelance industries coming together and fighting AB5, which is a little strange when you really think about the players here. Just to show you what I mean, here's a quick little blurb from the CBS affiliates in San Francisco. Federal judge holds freelance journalists to new California labor law AB5. All these different industries that you don't really think of as connected are being affected by AB5. What could actually stop representatives from these different areas coming together and saying, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend? It's not necessarily the correct way to do things, but it does happen. Anyway, I'm going to link the articles below, read them, keep them in mind, and think about how the changing face of the new workforce, the changes in technology, how is this going to impact us down the line? I think that it's very important that we do, especially if it's becoming increasingly apparent that drivers are not going to be seen as an integral part of Uber, especially because it looks like they're trying to distance themselves from being a transportation company and they're trying to come off as a platform, a technology company that offers this app as a way to do business with each other. I felt like I had to put this up because it's very important, it's very big, and it's very relevant, to the world of ride sharing, and not only to ride sharing, but the future of how the fight for AB5, for and against AB5, is going to look. We don't really know how that's going to pan out, but it looks like there are a few issues coming down in March. Mid-year looks like it's going to be really big as far as any court battles will go. And of course, they are trying to push for a November ballot initiative. The point is, the first came and went, and there are a lot of people who still have no work, or they don't know if they'll continue to have work, or they don't know if they will have work in the future. So I think it's very important to stay on top of topics like this because they all connect. And that's the nature of the modern workforce. There are industries that are now connected that you never would have expected back in the day. So I hope you all have a good one. Make sure that you keep your eyes on the news, especially if it relates to you, because it pays to always stay informed. Be good, do well, let's go make some money.